I am Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Mukeshimana. I'm a lecturer at Uganda Christian University in Uganda, that is Africa. Currently, I'm in Cape Town at GWC doing a writing project.
Emmanuel, thanks for being with us today on Exegetically Speaking. Tell us, how did you get started reading Greek?
The journey to read Greek started when I was doing my undergraduate because I'm a theologian. I was doing my bachelor's, and then in my second year I had now to begin learning Greek. So from there I picked the interest, and then I started now reading Greek. And by this time now I'm the one teaching it at the whole university, Uganda Christian University.
So you started formal. Have you ever sort of taught yourself some Greek along the way, or were you always in classes?
Mainly during that time, it's like 18 years ago. Really, I was doing it in a classroom, but I could go to the library and then borrow some books, and then I read on my own. And that one helped me actually to be familiar with Greek, and I'm very confident with it now.
Oh, good. There's something about teaching a language where it really imprints on you. You begin to understand it at a new level. At least that's been my experience. Today we're going to talk about 3 John, verse 1. There's only one chapter in 3 John, and you want to talk about verse 1. Tell us why that particular verse piques your interest.
Dave, Greek is a very interesting language, and when you are teaching the students, sometimes they were telling you, why are you giving us this dead language? They call it like a dead because it's not spoken anywhere. But I encourage them to tell them that really this is the language where we need now to know exactly what the scripture in the New Testament is telling us. So therefore, I impress them to love the language. And then from there, I tell, okay, let's now begin from something small, not too much. And then,
so you don't start in Hebrews, you mean?
I did also some Hebrew. I know some kind of Hebrew.
I mean the book of Hebrews.
The book of Hebrews.
That's harder Greek, right?
Exactly. So, but I prefer the Gospel of John, and then I come to letters of John. So it's much better because they are easier to understand. And then I pick something which really will interest the students. For example, me choosing this 3 John is that when you see, and actually I'm given it to read, I want to read this verse. It says, Ho presbyteros gaio to agapeto hon ego agapo en aletheia. So now when you read it that way, the student will be eager also to read like you are doing. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I come back and said, by the way, let's now analyze it slowly by slowly. Remember, the trick in Greek, you begin from alphabet. Yes. You have to make sure that they know alphabet very well. And then from alphabet, you just give them some little grammar. Don't give them too much, because remember, they are not practicing it with each other, so they are not trying now to read and understand. And then from there, you can now go into constructing sentences, and then you go to syntax, you go to morphology, and then you are helping them to understand very well that language. So anyway, that's what I do. And then from there, I tell them, because I'm in Africa, and do you know that actually Greek is very close to our vernacular languages?
It's closer, yeah.
Very close. And actually, with that one, you tell them that when you are reading, when you get the words, you know the vocabulary, you can use now lexicon, and then you just know the meaning, and then try to put the meaning as you are speaking your vernacular, and then everything comes.
So when you look at this particular text, are there similarities between your language, vernacular, and this particular Greek text?
Yes.
Where's the correspondence?
Now here, I want now to begin from this, because when you look at the Bible translations, there are so many issues they talk about. One is that, for example, ho presbyteros. Some translations have said this was written by John. But there is no John in this verse.
Right.
It is not there. But others will say the beloved Gaius. Others will say the dear friend. So that kind of way. Mm-hmm. So now I come down and they say, okay, hold on. Let's now look at, as we are looking at our vernacular languages, word by word. Ho presbyteros. That means elder. Okay? Then
elder.
you go Geo, that is Gaius. This is a name, Gaius.
A proper
then
name,
to,
right.
agapeto. So it can be maybe beloved, maybe dear friend, that kind of thing. So we go from there one by one. And then after we make a sentence and then we translate our own. We are not following what maybe the NIV is saying. We want to translate our own and then we put it in our vernacular to understand the real meaning from the original, not from English to our mother tongues. So thank you.
So we go through here, and the last part, it says, the elder says, Gaius, whom I love in truth. Be interesting to know who these people are, right?
Yes, exactly.
To learn more about Gaius, to learn more about the elder.
And actually the meaning of elder, when you go to this one, who is this elder? I tell them, you have to make a relationship between these two keywords. Ho presbyteros, elder, and then aletheia, which is now truth. So that means if you are an elder, you know more about the truth. So that's why he's now considering him that you are now, you are like the elder, you are like an example, you are the key person, your character is sounding, is the one which comes out and it helps people to know, by the way, you can be now our leader. Because remember, an elder, this time an elder was the ones now who leading the churches, who leading now the communities. So that's the aspect of the word elder there.
Very good. That's a great reading of the text. I want to say thanks, Emmanuel, for you being today with us on Exegetically Speaking.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you learned too much today and your head is hurting, there's one sure cure. That is to share this podcast with a friend. We hope you've enjoyed Exegetically Speaking. If you have never visited Wheaton College, I hope you'll make plans to do so. We have a wonderful campus year around. And if biblical languages are your fancy, check out our MA and BA programs at Wheaton College, wheaton.edu. Look for modern and classical languages. That's the best place to get started. If you have comments, you have questions, you just want to be in touch, please email us at exegetically.speaking@wheaton.edu. Thanks for all those who make this possible. You know who you are. Until next time, thanks for listening.